In this video, I will show you how to put together this free photo pop-up card, which is an SVG file from Simply Crafty SVGs. So this is a photo, or I should say a photo pop-up card, like that. So basically it flattens, it can have a photo on both sides. That's how I'm using it, but you can flatten it and put it in an envelope. If you don't like seeing this, I do have that visible when it's open like that. I mean, you could always cover that. That's up to you. But with any side's the front, in this case. So it just opens up like this, and there's a slot for these to line up in. So I was just thinking this would be a fun little thing to give somebody for a desk, like their office desk or something like that. I like mini things anyways. So let me go ahead and put that aside. So there's two inserts. There's this landscape version, and that's 3x2, and this will be 2x3. So what I did is just print a photo on 4x6 and cut it out. Now you could use your machine. That's up to you. Just getting a pair of larger scissors. But I wanted photo paper, and I just didn't want to go through the rigmarole of getting the machine to cut it. So I'm just going to go as close to the edge as possible. I'm just going to go a little bit more in. Sometimes there's something to be said about the manual process. So it's not always a bad thing. But when you want a certain look, that's what you do. So this is the dog we have as Britches. Britches and Stumpy are sister and brother from the same litter. So this is just when they were, I don't know, months old. And they played together a lot when they were younger. So that's how I cut this one out, like that. So Stumpy's going to be on one side and Britches will be on the other. So once we have the photos, everything you need, you can go ahead and put on these panels. So I like to fold them first, fold everything first, and the reason why is it just makes it easier. Just fold it like this, and then we're going to fold it a little bit different in a moment. It just makes it easier to center the items, the panels, because you can see where the folds are. Go ahead and move that. So let me get my, I'm using Barely Art Glue today, and I've been tending to use that. I'm going to move those away so I don't get glue on them. So you just want to center these. So as I mentioned, this is one of our mini freebies. I used to put out freebies much more often than I do now. Life has kind of changed things, so I'm managing sometimes to get 2 in a month, but sometimes that's not always possible with what's going on in my personal life today. So I am the one and only person at Simply Crafty SVGs. It's Sandy. If you see my name, that's who I am. A lot of people don't associate me with the company, but I really didn't want to put my face when I created this. I'm just not one of those people that likes to be on film. So once you get these on, it's just easier to do it flat. It just gives a little accent, and you can put like a little sentiment or something. If you do like this freebie or any other of our projects, always ask if you can give us a like on the video, and or you can subscribe to our channel. And if you hit that notification button to the right of subscribe, you'll be notified when we have new content, such as these free files. And if you haven't seen all the freebies we have, head on over to simplycraftysvgs.com and you can see what we have. So now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and fold it correctly. So I'm going to fold it back. So I wanted to fold it like this first, and I'm going to fold it backwards. That's a valley fold. The other was a mountain. Valley fold because it's inward. Mountain because it's It creates a mountain. So that's a valley and then a mountain. So we're going to go ahead and glue these together. So you want to put glue on this. So once you get them folded, so make sure it's folded properly. It's pretty simple. I just used the concept of a pop-up card to create this little pop-up card front photo frame. No, I got glue on the other side, but I really want it to be adhered well. So then you go ahead and fold it over. I did overcomb the glue, but I want to make sure I get it really nicely folded up there. So then we didn't get any glue up there. We don't need it. I wanted to do a frame like this, but I was having a hard time supporting it. So this is why I came to the conclusion that I was going to do it this way. So now, this will just slide in like this. So I'm going to show you how it slides in like that. Okay, but we're going to put the photos on it first. So we have this one. So it looks like it's slightly larger. Sometimes my photo doesn't do the true. I just didn't check it. It's going to be okay because they line up. They don't do the true 2x3. My file is though. So I printed this from Photoshop and it's not quite. So I'm just going to line it up. I was going to trim it. If you do have that problem, you can trim it. But since they're about the same size on both sides, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to line them up. If I needed to trim it from there, I could. Just make sure that if you actually want to give it as a card, that you make sure at least it's lined up at the bottom, because otherwise don't have it go too high above, because if it goes high above, then it won't fit in the envelope. So I'm just going to trim it. So to clarify, you just want to make sure it's not too high. So I actually just put a little this on the glue, so I'm not going to worry about it. But you don't want it too high, so you make sure it doesn't go above the panel. So when I was trimming it, I got some glue on it. Not happy about that, but it's okay. Okay. So when that's glued like this, we're going to go ahead and slide this in. I'm just going to add glue on the back side. Again, you can see that, so if you wanted to make it like a card or something you're going to give as a gift, you might want to cover it. That's up to you. I don't think it looks horrible. So you want to push it in as you make sure it's pushed in. So this lines up down there for either size. So now that we have that in, we're going to go ahead and just glue these tabs. So this is the final part. Just to glue them under. So I'll do one at a time. So I'm going to show you from the side. You could just go ahead and do it flat if you want, but I want to make sure it lines up. And the same thing on this side. Glue it under. Just trying to line it up. And that basically finishes it up, unless you want to add a sentiment. So now it's flipping the wrong way here. Let's flip it back where it needs to be. So there it is. So it would go flat like that. Or you can just, when you open it, there's little slots right here. So it'll slide in there. And it needs to push in beyond that so it can sit up flat like that. So there it is. I hope you enjoy this freebie. You can see it's double-sided. And let's go ahead. And the two different versions that you can make with it. I thank you for watching, and until next time.